What is up, everybody? Hopefully that went through right. I don't know if I needed my headphones on for that or not, but that is the new intro. Maybe a work in progress for the Evil live streams. That was actually the music for that was created by a friend of the channel, Anders, and I will give you guys a link to his channel. He's created a lot of music, and I want to help promote the dude for doing that for me. He just messaged me, offered to do it, and it turned out great. So welcome, everybody, to episode 2 of Evil Live, a little bit of an impromptu stream today. There's a couple of things that had dropped, namely the Friday the 13th box set, where I was like, you know what? I need to talk about this. So wanted to do a stream today. Might be some technical hiccups. Honestly, I don't know. This is the first time I'm streaming with my new laptop, this MacBook Pro. I'm still kind of learning the ways of Apple. This is my first Apple computer, period. I don't even have iPhones, so going to be a little bit of a learning experience, but I think I got everything set up right. So welcome everybody to the stream. I know you got Dale in there. I saw Dale earlier, Craig Harris, Nick Messina, Tom Unger, and Dark Super YouTube, Richard Atkinson. What is up, everybody? All right, so if you missed the first episode, again, this is me still kind of going off the cuff. We're just going to go over some recent movie news. I'm also going to be doing a bit of a movie spotlight for a second at the end. I probably should have grabbed the Blu-ray, but nonetheless, we'll figure that out. And then I'm going to take your guys' viewer questions at the very end. We might be doing this for an hour and a half, 2 hours. We're just going to let it see how it goes. But without further ado, the first thing that everybody has been commenting, wanting me to talk about, which I almost avoided it and just didn't even want to give my my piece on it whatsoever. But fuck it, we're going to talk about it. So we have, yes, Halloween Kills delayed to October 2021. Who saw this coming, huh? I've pretty much mentally prepared myself that we're not going to get any movies for the rest of this year. I suggest everybody else does the same because, man, it's looking grim. So yeah, Halloween Kills. Everybody was really excited about it, especially you Halloween fanatics. It was supposed to be coming out this October, and then Halloween Ends was going to be coming out next October to wrap up this little sequel trilogy that they've been having a lot of success with. And because of this pandemic that's going on, they finally pulled the plug and yanked it and pushed it all the way to next October. There was a lot of rumblings about, is it going to go to VOD? Are they still going to release it? But, you know, theaters won't be at maximum capacity, so the VOD will kind of help with that. Are they going to push it back a couple of months, maybe to February or March? Nope. Whole new year of waiting. So it sucks. I mean, I'll be honest with you. It sucks whenever you have a movie that you're really anticipating, especially a movie like that where it just seems like everybody's just been chomping at the bit to talk about it. To every little news update, you see YouTube channels just going nuts with any little detail they could get, begging and pleading for some kind of a teaser trailer or a trailer, and they finally give it to you. And at the very end, it says 2021. I thought that was kind of funny, I mean, in a dark way. As far as the teaser itself, I mean, it was okay. It didn't really do anything to sway my excitement one way or the other. As you guys know, I had kind of a rough experience with Halloween 2018. So there's a lot of reasons why my expectations and my excitement has been tempered very much for Halloween Kills. I still hope that it's awesome. Like I feel like people think that I want it to suck, and that's not true. I think that the movie, I hope that it's going to be great. I hope I walk out of it and go, damn, that's what I'm talking about. Nobody should want to walk out of a movie and be like, yep, sucked, just like I thought it would. But my expectations and my excitement are just very tempered. So when you watch this teaser, that's basically just continuing directly off the end of Halloween 2018. It was exactly what I would have expected it to be, honestly. They're sitting in the back. You see fire trucks. No, let it burn. Which it was funny because me and Mother Mayhem started to get into little tussles on on Twitter because we were talking about, did this bitch really not expect somebody to come put out this fire? Those logic issues, you know, that you bring up right away. It was pretty cute. But yeah, decent enough. If you're really excited for this movie, I imagine that teaser was all you needed. You know, let it burn, and then you see the small little image of the burn side of his mask, which I am curious to see what that design is going to look like. But yeah, we're going to have to wait another year, and then Halloween Ends was pushed to 2022. So I don't know. I'm hoping that an extra year will give me a bit more time to breathe. I'm hoping all of the updates and the constant talk on Twitter and the constant YouTube videos all over the place, like just the tiniest little detail, we got to have a video about it. I hope that that's going to be tempered down a little bit for me personally, my own selfish reasons, so that I can start to gain more excitement. So that there's another year, I think I will be more in the mood for another Michael Myers movie. So, and that's no shade, by the way, to any YouTube channels that do a lot of Halloween updates. I don't want that to be misinterpreted. It's just, for me, somebody that's not excited about this movie, I'm like, fuck, I get it. You guys are excited. But yeah, a year wait. Johnny just said you sound like Jimmy Kimmel, says Mother Mayhem. Well, I don't know if that's a compliment or a knock, but I'll take it. Can I get his paycheck? Got a super chat just in time. Blood Red Skies, at this point, I'm more excited for Candyman. Yes. I'm going to be honest with you. I am way more excited for Candyman. The trailer really excited me for Candyman. Even that little like animated thing they did with the little stick puppets was brilliant. I'm really excited for that movie, and I'm going to probably go ahead and bet that that's going to be pushed off to next year too. I hope not to fucking October. I will get it in like March or something like that. But Candyman, my level of excitement is like as high as it can be, especially with getting a little bit more news now, a little bit more teases that Tony Todd's going to have more of a role in it than we probably thought. I'm excited as hell for that one. So that's pretty much all my thoughts on the Halloween Kills teaser and the delay, guys. Wasn't a whole lot to say about it, but I know a lot of you guys wanted me to talk about it, so there you go. Moving on from that is really the main reason why I wanted to do this one and that this live stream, and that is we have this bad boy coming out. We have Friday the 13th finally getting an awesome looking box set. Now, I'm not the biggest Friday the 13th fan. I think that probably at least half of that franchise I could do without, but it goes without saying that as a horror fan, you love, especially me, like physical media, horrors, you love having these really cool box sets to show off like your fandom. And Friday the 13th has been plagued with, they had that badass little steelbook thing, and then that came and went really quickly. But because there's two different studios, you got Paramount and you have, I believe, New Line Cinemas, whoever owns New Line now, that have rights to different movies in this franchise, it was very difficult to get a complete collection. Even like 2 years ago or whatever, whenever we got the little clamshell with the first 8 movies, you still wouldn't get the New Line movies. So Scream Factory, man, you want to talk about just the saviors of horror fans. Those guys are awesome at just bringing the fucking thunder whenever it comes to having box sets like this. They had the Halloween one, which a lot of people love. I missed that one. I got the smaller version of it, but you see the box art here. That box art is awesome. Each movie is getting its own individual clamshell Blu-ray. There's going to be reversible art on some of them. I pulled up an article. I don't know if it said anything about some of the features that we're going to be having. For new 4K scans of the original camera negatives for theatrical and unrated cut of Friday the 13th, as well as Part 2, Part 3, and Part 4. I believe there's going to be some new commentaries and stuff like that. I know my buddy Vince, Never Hike Alone director, was talking about there's going to be some talk of Never Hike Alone in the Jason Lives commentary, because those are kind of tied together. So that's cool. The biggest thing for me, though, also the other big thing is a new 2K scan of the unrated version of Jason Goes to Hell. No, a lot of you are not a big fan of Jason Goes to Hell, but I enjoy that one. I like that one for what it is. I have fun with it. I think that when you're binging the Friday the 13th franchise, it's a nice little breath of fresh air. It's just a batshit crazy movie. But I'll tell you what, I said this on Twitter too to somebody I believe they work for Bloody Disgusting. The biggest thing to me would be a huge surprise if they would announce, because they said there's still a lot of more features coming, is if they could get the original unrated cut of Part 7, The New Blood. Because I've said it ad nauseum, I'm not really a fan of that movie because it's just hacked to death by the MPAA, no pun intended. But there's some really shitty quality, like on YouTube, some clips you can find of like the full length kills that were in that movie, and they were way gorier and way gnarlier than they actually made to the theatrical cut. So if they released a little press thing saying that they were going to have the original remastered cut of The New Blood with all its bloody glory, I would be I would be elated about that because that's the first time I'd be able to see a cut of that movie that I would actually enjoy. But I already got mine pre-ordered. The site was crashing like crazy earlier. Like within 30 minutes of this announcement, Shout Factory's website was just fucked. I mean, that thing, you would go onto it, it would load, it would crash. You would add it to cart, it would crash. You would go to pay, it would crash. It took me about 15 minutes of dicking around with it to get it to work. But I got mine pre-ordered just because with the amount of excitement I'm seeing with this, they're saying there's only going to be 13,000 of these made. I got a bad feeling those 13,000 are going to go quick. So if you guys are fans of Friday the 13th, if you've been waiting for a collection of this magnitude, you better go and take out a loan, do something to get this. It's $160, which, you know, a buddy of mine I was talking with, I said, it's probably going to be around 150, and it was 160. So they had to one-up me just a little bit. $160 for, what is it, 12 movies? It's not bad. For Scream Factory, the quality that they deliver, it's worth it. So we got a couple of super chats. De Jesus, hey Cody, do you think you'd ever remaster your Nightmare series? Maybe eventually. I'm not in a hurry to go back and revisit review series, honestly, because my thoughts haven't really changed. When we get a new movie in the Nightmare series, maybe my excitement level will make me want to go back and revisit some of them, if not all of them. There is things that I see in those review series, just quality-wise, that bugs me because, you know, I still had my movie poster background, and most of my review series now, especially the ones that I put my heart and soul into, I make my own background. I have like these free-flowing narratives kind of tying together in the intros to kind of have fun with that. And I had some of those elements in my Nightmare series, but that was the first horror franchise that I reviewed. So there's some of my amateurisms that I look at and I'm like, I could do that better now. So maybe eventually, and when I say eventually, I'm talking like maybe 2 years from now at the earliest. I don't want to start revisiting things because there's still so many franchises that I have to even get to for the first time. So maybe. And I know I had one more because I saw it pop up just as I was saying that one. Where is it at? Oh, shit. Here we go. Scott, have you watched Hell House LLC? I sent you a copy. No, I have not watched that one yet. So it's hard for me to find time to watch movies around the house between the hours that I work and my kids being around because I like to be uninterrupted. And the movies that I have to review, like the Nolan series and the Saw movies and the Romero of the Dead movies right now, kind of have to take precedence. So no, I have not checked it out yet, but hopefully I will soon. I heard the footage to Part 7 was destroyed. I heard the same, but you know what? They said the same thing about Nightbreed, and Scream Factory was able to piece that thing together. So if anybody can do it, it's Scream Factory. I'm holding out hope. Make sure I don't have any more. Hell House is so much fun. You need to watch it. I'm suspicious about Mother Mayhem because I don't know if it means that it's really fun or it's terrible, and she just wants me to message her and be like, what the fuck? Why'd you tell me to watch that? Cody, you missed my super chat. Cordell. Oh, shit. Okay. Hang on. Like I said, if you guys haven't joined me in recent live streams, this program that I'm using on StreamYard, it's not the best at keeping track of the super chats, so it's very easy to miss one. Cordell, there we go. What do you think about the new Evil Dead movie that was announced? Big fan of the channel. Thank you. I'm curious about it. What is it? Evil Dead Rise or something like that. The only disappointment that I have is that they're not following up, or at least they haven't made it seem like they're following up the Fede Alvarez movie. I feel like that set itself up very well for a follow-up with both Bruce Campbell and Jane Levy. So I'm a little disappointed if they just kind of ignore that movie altogether because that's my favorite one in the series. But, I mean, it's Evil Dead. It's going to be fun. Sam Raimi's going to have a lot of involvement. Bruce Campbell's going to have a lot of involvement. They're not going to let it suck. I don't think they will. I've heard rumors, or unless they've announced it, that it's going to take place in a high rise, which is interesting, you know, getting out of the cabin in the woods. So I don't know. I don't really know what to expect until I see a trailer. But on its surface, I'm excited about it with a little pepper of disappointment. All right. Make sure I'm clean on the super chats. And I got one more. Kelvin Whitman. Hello. Why do they make Michael 6 feet tall nowadays? To make him more physically imposing, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if James Jude Courtney was that tall. He was actually more in line with the original Michael, I think. But yeah, whenever they had like Tyler Mane, and everything was excess in those Rob Zombie movies, so that's part of it. The guy's tall. Naturally, your brain thinks, oh, this guy could fuck me up. So that's why they do that. All right, moving on to the next thing. We have Where is it at? Damn it. We have this little thing here. So Leigh Whannell to write and direct The Wolfman. He's just in talks at the moment, from what I have read, but this is the guy that just brought us that awesome new version of The Invisible Man, and he is one of my favorite working writer and directors today. And it's supposed to supposedly be in talks to star Ryan Gosling. And let me tell you, I will sign up for all of those things. Yes, Ryan Gosling. Yes, Leigh Whannell. And yes, another werewolf movie. Finally, the Twilight stink is starting to leave us. So Leigh Whannell, obviously with the success, not only critically, but financially of The Invisible Man, Blumhouse is courting him quite literally to take on another one of the Universal monsters, which is the Wolfman. Like I said, Ryan Gosling attached to star at the moment, with Ryan Gosling attached to star. So I don't know if that means he's signed or if he actually does the project. That's just a shoe-in. But it's all in talks at the moment. I'm pretty positive the thing's going to come through. I mean, Leigh Whannell, he can basically do whatever he wants right now at this point, because I really liked Insidious Chapter 3. I think that's easily the best since the first one in that series. And I loved Upgrade. You guys know that. That was my favorite movie that year. And The Invisible Man, thus far, is my favorite movie this year. Not a lot of competition, but regardless, it's awesome. So I would watch anything that guy does. I love werewolves. I love the story with the Wolfman and all those classic Universal monsters. I'm very curious to see how they're going to modernize like Dracula and the Wolfman in the way that they did the Invisible Man. So yes, I don't know if you guys are as excited. So we got Dale here. So this is the only little fly in the ointment. Blumhouse, yikes. Yeah, see, Blumhouse, that's the thing. Blumhouse is like one end of the spectrum or the other. They either give you the best horror movie of the year or the worst piece of shit that you saw that year. And it's continuous. I mean, you'll have movies like The Invisible Man released just a couple of months after Black Christmas. And you're like, I never know what the fuck to expect from these guys. So that is the only thing that, whenever Blumhouse has big names attached to it and it's a big property, usually they do pretty well. It's the more, let's put $1 million into a movie and just throw it out really quick, that they get themselves into trouble with as far as their quality control. But I'm excited for it. Kelvin Whitman, did you see Wolfman 2010? Pretty bloody, decent film. I have not. I've seen pieces of it. I heard a lot of bad things about that movie, but here recently I've been hearing a lot of good things about it. So I don't know if it was one of those movies that maybe just horror fans liked and everybody else didn't care for. But it's a movie that I need to get to, and I probably will get to eventually, but no, I have not seen it. All right, I'm seeing some messages about spamming. Hey guys, I'm not taking Q&As yet. These are just super chats, so save your questions for the end, but please do not spam, because that's not going to make me go to your question any faster. I still have a lot of stuff to cover. So thank you for that. Moving on from that, one more thing that I saw that was interesting, not necessarily horror themed, but we have Gotham P.D. TV series coming to HBO Max. So with this Matt Reeves Batman film that's going to be coming out sometime between now and my fucking death, they've already started to put in production for a Gotham P.D. television series that will be going to HBO Max, just like the Snyder Cut and probably a couple other WB DC style shows. Now, on one hand, please hold. On one hand, I like it because it's HBO. They can be a little bit more dark. They can be a little bit more risky with what they do. Not that they're going to go too dark, because it still has to fit in the universe of what's inevitably going to be a PG-13 movie. I have high faith in Matt Reeves' Batman, and I'm really starting to get the feeling, like I've been kind of talking about with Durbin on our State of the DCEU videos, that they're going to build out their own universe surrounding Batman that's going to be something kind of outside the DCEU. So it's going to be, they have enough characters, enough stories, enough villains to do their own thing. And this just kind of solidifies that thought for me. On the other hand, we just had Gotham. Now, I didn't watch Gotham, so I'm not going to be like everybody else. Like, I just watched this shit for 5 years. I don't want another show like that. But it is just like Gotham as far as what their descriptions are. A prequel to the movies, or somehow tied to the movies. Going to tell about how the city kind of came to be. You're probably going to have a lot of origins of villains in there. And it's just, I don't know. I'm sure they're going to go a lot darker and a lot less comic-y and a lot less, a lot less campy than what I saw pieces of Gotham being. But it is kind of funny that they just immediately follow up this show with the same exact type of thing. So I don't know where everybody's going to fall on that as far as what they're excited for or not. But it's interesting to me. It's interesting that they have so much faith in this already, and they're already starting to set up things with HBO Max to really flesh out this DC universe. So I'm very curious about it. It'll be better than Batwoman, says Dorito Chip Gamer. Yeah, I didn't watch any of the CW Batman stuff. CW really lost me quickly. I loved Arrow for the first 2.5 seasons. I loved Flash for the first 2.5 seasons, and then all those shows just lost my interest completely. So yeah, Josh Niemeyer, is it going to have Batman in it? I highly doubt it. Honestly, it's not going to be the production level of probably the movie. It'll be close. HBO's got some money. I mean, Game of Thrones, but they could surprise us. But I think it's going to be just fleshing out the universe so that they can have characters show up in movies that don't necessarily need to be fleshed out in a movie. They can be like, all right, if you're watching Gotham, you know who this guy is, or whatever they're going to call it, Gotham PD, you know who this guy is. The Willmeister, speaking of Batman, what are your thoughts on Michael Keaton possibly coming back in the DCEU and Arrowverse? Yeah, we were going to do a state of the DCEU on this, but we haven't seen anything solid yet. It's just been rumors. And with Batman, like when Ben Affleck was on again, off again, every 5 minutes, it felt like you would report on something and then they would recant it, and then they would recant the recant. So we were a little gun shy to talk about that. So yes, Michael Keaton supposedly is in talks to show up in the Flash movie, I believe, which is supposed to be something along the lines of Flashpoint, which, if you're not familiar with the comic book storyline, that's a storyline when Flash goes back in time, changes an event, comes back, and the whole world is different. Like, all his relationships are changed. In the comic book storyline, it's epic, where you have the Amazonians and the Atlanteans fighting against each other. You have like Shazam that's been murdered, and it's some crazy ass stuff. But one of the bigger pieces of that story is you have, instead of Bruce Wayne being the survivor of this theater shooting and becoming Batman, Bruce Wayne is actually killed, and his parents go off, and Thomas Wayne, the father, becomes Batman, and the mother becomes the Joker. So I don't think they're going to go that far with it, but to some degree, they're going to have Bruce Wayne as an alternate universe, or Thomas Wayne. And I've heard also from some friends of mine that are more closely tied to the industry than I am, that they're actually trying to put pieces in place for a Batman Beyond movie. So that's also why they're kind of courting Michael Keaton to be the old grizzled Batman that's going to be training Terry McGinnis. If you're not familiar with Batman Beyond, it's basically like the next generation of Batman, the younger Batman trained by the older Batman. How do I feel about it? It seems like a bit too fast to be doing all that. You know, if these feel like DCEU ideas that were coming out maybe 5 years ago, I still don't feel like we've fleshed out the universe enough. We don't even have our Batman movie yet, and we're already talking about bringing other Batmans in. I think it might be a little bit too much. But then again, if it's awesome, I'll be on board immediately. So it all depends on the execution. Cordell, what would you think of Joaquin Phoenix's Joker in this new Batman universe, even though it's unlikely? I don't think he would fit. He belongs in his own universe. I mean, it's very hard R. They're not going to have an R-rated Batman movie with Robert Pattinson. It's just not going to happen. So I think it would be weird. It would be hard to put that Joker with Robert Pattinson, and he would feel watered down if he's not cutting people's throats and, dropping F-bombs and stuff like that. I just think it would feel weird. So I don't think it's going to work. All right. I got another super chat. Mikey Hartley, which of your favorite movies have you enjoyed most showing to your children, horror or otherwise? I mean, honestly, probably not so many of the horror movies, because my kids, they enjoy them, but they don't really love them to the degree that I did when I was a kid. Movies that I really enjoy showing them is movies that I watched when I was their age back in the 90s, like some of the Disney Channel original movies, or like the Goonies and things like that a lot of kids nowadays probably don't know about unless their parents show them, especially the Disney Channel original movies like Smart House and Johnny Tsunami and all that kind of stuff. Those are the ones that I like watching with them, because I kind of get to relive my childhood through them to a degree. So that would be my answer for that question. Let's see here. All right. So I did have one more thing that I wanted to talk about. Go ahead and get your tissues ready, Mother Mayhem. But I did want to address this for a second. This sucks, guys. It's never good to talk about stuff like this, but they dropped news at some point last night that Kelly Preston has passed away from cancer. 2 years, breast cancer. She was only 57 years old, which is just way too young. I have loved this woman my entire life. I mean, I'm not just for the fact that she's absolutely gorgeous, but a lot of movies that she's been in have just been really important to me. Twins. Jack Frost was one that me and Mother Mayhem were talking about earlier this morning. Christine, which is where I got that picture from. I mean, she's just been in a lot of movies that I love. And that really sucked to wake up and read that this morning, because she just always seemed like such a nice person. You know, she was never like A-list or anything like that, but a lot of us genre fans always knew who she was. Her and John Travolta's marriage always seemed like one of the few like Hollywood marriages that was just went off without a hitch. So that really sucks. It never is good to hear about something like that. But it really sucks when it's somebody that's been a part of a lot of movies that you love. So not that they're ever going to see this, but just wanted to send out all the love that I have to the Travolta family. I know that they've endured a decent amount of tragedy over the past, 10 years. I know they had their son die a number of years ago. So it sucks. I don't really know what else to say about that, but I love Kelly Preston always. And it sucks to hear that she's not here anymore. So I just wanted to address that. It's not the kind of stuff I like to talk about, but fucking cancer, right? SPC Bird. Hey, Cody, love your channel, man. Which delayed horror film are you most least excited for? And what's your take on The Taking of Deborah Logan? I don't exactly remember what The Taking of Deborah Logan is, so you have to forgive me on that one. Which delayed horror film are you most and least excited for? I mean, which other ones were delayed besides Halloween? Halloween's the only one that I know of that has been delayed, unless I'm really missing one. I'm sure the comment section can help me out here in a second once it catches up. But I mean, if it gets delayed, Candyman is going to be the one that I'm most excited for, and Halloween will be the one that I'm least excited for at the moment, because those are the only two ones that I know of. Spiral. Okay, thank you so much. So Spiral's the other one. I'm probably more excited to see Spiral than Halloween, just because of my curiosity. I'm not a Saw fan at all. I mean, you're going to be finding out quickly throughout the rest of the Saw series that most of my positive thoughts has already happened in this review series. But the fact that Chris Rock had some kind of an idea, because he's such a passionate horror fan, apparently, that he brought to the studio, and they had enough faith in his idea that they greenlit it, and him and Samuel L. Jackson. I mean, the trailer didn't do a whole lot to sell me. I'll be honest with you. I don't know if it's going to work. I don't know if I'm going to buy Chris Rock in that kind of role, but it's just so bonkers of an idea, Chris Rock doing a Saw movie, that it's either going to be awesome or it's going to be terrible. So that has my curiosity, where I kind of feel like Halloween Kills, I have an idea of what it's going to be. Spiral, I really have no idea. So Spiral, somewhere in the middle. Candyman, I'm absolutely most excited for, and currently Halloween Kills is my least anticipated. So thank you for that question. Let me see here. Speaking of, where's the Saw 5 review? About 10 months from now. Just kidding. All right. Did I have anything else? I felt like I had something else. Oh, okay. So no, I don't have a graphic to show this, but something that I wanted to do in these Evil Live episodes every single time is to give a spotlight to like a hidden gem, or a movie that not a lot of people know about, or a movie that I want to defend. And because of Kelly Preston passing, the one that I wanted to talk about is a movie called Secret Admirer. I don't know if you guys are aware of this movie. I'll try to find a graphic for it really quick. I don't know what quality it's going to be. I should have prepared. I was going to bring the Blu-ray, and I totally forgot, trying to mess around with all this setup. But it's an 80s romantic comedy, a little raunchy comedy, and it's called Secret Admirer. It's got a C. Thomas Howell. It's got Kelly Preston, obviously, and it also has Lori Loughlin. News that hasn't aged very well that she was in that movie. But nonetheless, you have C. Thomas Howell, who is basically this, he's not exactly a popular kid. He's not exactly a nerd. He's just kind of one of those dudes in the middle, and he is infatuated with Kelly Preston. I mean, who wouldn't be? And he gets this letter in his locker at the last day of school from a secret admirer, and he assumes it's her and starts writing her letters back, when the movie quickly tells you that it's actually Lori Loughlin, who is a very close friend of his that gave him the note, and she's a close friend of Kelly Preston. So she ends up being the middleman, passing notes back and forth that she rewrites for C. Thomas Howell because he's terrible, and then rewrites them for Kelly Preston because she's terrible. So it's just a very funny, cute movie from the 80s that not a whole lot of people know about, not a whole lot of people have seen, and it's a movie that I always have a lot of fun with. So if you guys like 80s comedies, if you like raunchier movies, if you like any of the stars that I've already talked about playing in it, that is a movie that I want you guys to check out. The Blu-ray is out. It came out sometime last year because I bought it immediately, but it will be on Amazon Prime and stuff like that. Just search Secret Admirer. If you see Kelly Preston on there, give it a shot. I think it's a funny ass movie. Another one of those movies that my dad introduced me to, but that is one that I did want to spotlight for a minute. So if you guys enjoy that genre, go ahead and check that one out. And that is all I had prepared, guys. So this was going to be a shorter episode. I really just wanted to talk about the Friday the 13th set, and I wanted to get one of these Evil Lives out. I said I wanted to do them every other week, and I kind of slacked on it a bit with the computer issues and other things going on. But go ahead and send in all of your questions for viewer Q&A. I will say this, like I say always, guys, I have mods in here to help me out with this, but please do not spam. Please do not just type the same question over and over and over again, trying to get your question answered, because that's going to annoy me and I'm not going to answer it. It's just luck of the draw. I got 230 of you watching right now. I will try to get to as many questions as I can. If I don't get to your question, by no means is it an insult to you. It's just the luck of the draw. So go ahead and send your questions in, guys. Uh-oh. Kevin, he's a big softy. He just doesn't tell anybody. Who is saying? Cody's saying funny and cute. What a trip. Yeah. Like I tell my dad, you're an M&M. You're big, hard, empty shell with a bunch of milk chocolate on the inside. Let me see. Don't be an asshole is what he's saying. Yeah, basically. That's pretty much it. All right, Ethan Holgate, any more video games that you want to play this year? There's something coming out this week, Ghost of Tsushima or something like that. I'm not really like a samurai, Ninja Gaiden type of guy, but the developers of this game are very reliable. The trailers look pretty cool, so I might play that one. Actually, I'm going to play it, not might, because I'm a video game whore, but I'm going to play that one. The Marvel Avengers game, I already have pre-ordered before they delayed it. I'm curious about that one. That one, I don't know. I got like a little bit of a suspicious eye to it. It looks like it's going to be cool. At the same time, I'm like, I'm not seeing enough about this. I feel like it's not going to be very good, but I will be picking up that one. And is there anything? I think that's the main ones that I know about, and whatever comes out for the PS5. I don't know if they announced what's actually going to be the launch titles for it yet. A lot of the best trailers in their little launch event were games that were going to be coming out in 2021, like Horizon Forbidden West. But I'm holding out hope that maybe Ratchet and Clank will be a launch title. I'm sure Grand Theft Auto 5 will be. Don't care. But whatever the launch titles are for the PS5, one or two of those I'll be playing because that will be a day one purchase for me. Absolutely, because I'm a Sony whore. No interest in the Xbox at the moment. They haven't done anything to really sell me on that. Just not really a fan of their games. I usually only buy Gears of War. So that's really the only franchise that they have me hooked into. We got a super chat. Jared, hey Cody, I was wondering, do you ever check out smaller channels? I started a movie review channel recently and would love to know what you think. Send me a message or something like that if you have me on Facebook to remind me, because it's going to be hard for me to remember after getting done with this stream, but I will check it out and let you know. I've halfway answered this question before. I don't really watch a whole lot of movie review or movie related channels on YouTube in my free time. I feel like so much of my headspace is occupied with movie stuff, just doing my own channel, that I kind of need to decompress in my own time. So I actually watch a lot more like cooking channels is my biggest thing. It drives Holly nuts because I'll just throw it on. It's the most relaxing thing in the world for me when I'm editing or if I'm just chilling out, to just throw Restaurant Impossible on, or if I'm on YouTube, like something like Sam the Cooking Guy or Not Another Cooking Show is one of my favorites now too. So I'm really big into that. Good Mythical Morning, I love that. Channels that really don't have to do with my space is really where I tend to put a lot of my time and energy into. But I will give your channel a shot since you asked, and especially since you sent in a super chat. I don't want you to feel like I just ignored you. So please send me a message on Facebook or Instagram or something saying, hey, here's my channel. Check it out, please. Thank you, Jared. Let's see here. So we have CK78, huge Friday the 13th fan, and just curious where you read the set was limited. Shout Factory site only states the pre-order posters are limited. Did I misread? I think maybe it was one of the Bloody Disgusting or somebody, one of the articles that got posted on, well, no. It was Scream Factory's post on Facebook, actually. If you go to their Facebook, it said limited only 13,000 was going to be created. So unless they've changed that because of all the overwhelming pre-orders that they had, where they're like, oh, we ain't limited in this, never mind, unlimited. They might have changed it. But when they first announced it, it did say 13,000 of them were going to be created. Mother Mayhem. Oh, God. What will this year's October 31 on 31 consist of? It's going to consist of me, Willis Greedia, Brian Lomax Movie Talk, and Mother Mayhem talking about 31 horror franchise films. That's what it's going to consist of. Little inside joke. So I was talking about on my fan mail where it's going to be just me and the usual suspects doing the horror ones in October. We're not going to have guests on those. And Mother Mayhem felt left out because I never know whether she's able to record or not. To further elaborate, we've announced it on a teaser, but a couple of people still haven't seen that teaser, or I guess didn't know how to decipher the teaser. But if I'm able to go off of memory, we're going to be doing mostly creature features this year. So this is like Brian Lomax's year. I had to throw him a bone after putting him through Friday the 13th and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But we're going to be doing Jaws, Alien, Predator, Jeepers Creepers, Critters, The Thing. That might be all of them. If that adds up to 31, that's it, unless I'm forgetting one. But yeah, all of those franchises. I missed Kelvin Whitman's super chat. Okay, fine. Let me see. Here we go. Kelvin Whitman, did you play Doom game back in the days? I played the original Doom on Sega Genesis. Sega Genesis had this little 32-bit insert thing where you could play some bigger games, and I had two of those games. I had a Star Wars arcade, and I had Doom. So I did play it quite a bit in Sega Genesis. I was never very good at it. I was not very good at first-person shooters when I was little because I just didn't have the reaction time, I guess. But yeah, I hadn't played any other Doom game until Doom 3 came out after that one. Let me see. I know there was a couple more after Mother Mayhem's smart-ass mouth. Let me see. Alex Navarro, do you collect any figures or movie memorabilia? If so, I'd love to see a video on it one day. Thanks for the great content. Thank you, Alex. I do have a couple of figures. I have one hot toy, which is the Netflix Daredevil. I had meant to get the Punisher one as well, but it escaped me. I don't even know if it's still available for purchase, but they're pretty expensive. So I bought that one. I bought another one. It's Bruce Campbell's Ash. It's not a hot toy. It's like a cheaper version of that, but it was still like $120. So it's pretty expensive for me. And I have some of the NECA figurines. Like I had the Chucky. I have the Jason from Friday the 13th Part 6, I believe. I have Michael Myers from Halloween 2 and Halloween 2018. I have the Dream Warriors Freddy. I have a Predator and an Alien. I have Pennywise. So those I like quite a bit too. They're cheaper. They're only like $20, but they actually look pretty cool. So I'm not a big figurine collector. I just kind of have a few to behind this green screen here is a bookshelf with a bunch of books and guitar tablature books and figurines and a couple pop figures that I used to collect. So I do have a few, not enough for a whole video though. Let me see. Do you own the Trick or Treat Studios Good Guy doll? No, the one from the actual Good Guy doll. No, I do have one from that a viewer sent me. What company is Spirit Halloween? I have the Spirit Halloween one, but I have the This is going to be interesting. The Seed of Chucky replica of Chucky on pre-order. I've had it on pre-order for like a fucking year. I don't know why it keeps getting delayed. It's supposed to be shipped actually this September, I believe. But the only reason I bought it, I know you guys know I despise that movie, Seed of Chucky, but it's the exact same design as Bride of Chucky. But Trick or Treat has the Chucky, the Tiffany, and the Glenn doll. And I pre-ordered the Chucky one. So at some point I will have that one. But no, I did not buy the good guy replica. It was pretty expensive. It was like, what, $600, which is exactly what the Seed of Chucky was. But I would rather have that one than the regular good guy doll. I like the scarred look. That's my favorite look. So I will have that one at some point between now and my death, as long as they actually ship the damn thing. Let me see here. Aaron Anderson, do you like any sports movies? Yes, it's not my go-to genre. I'm not really a sports guy. I do not like watching sports at all. But sports movies, I love, like Remember the Titans, Rudy, Warriors, probably my favorite. Rocky, yeah, movies like that. I'm trying to think of some more. Like, there's not a ton of football comedies. I like those too, like The Longest Yard and Waterboy. And but as far as serious dramas, yeah, there's quite a few that I like. M Diener 319er. Hey Cody, what's your favorite lesser known movie based off a Stephen King story? Sometimes They Come Back is a pretty cool one. Lesser known. We'll go with that one because it's hard for me to rattle them off right off the top of my head. But yeah, it's Sometimes They Come Back. The original, it is a TV movie. You could tell the TV quality to it, but it's a cool little story. It's, you know, in the 50s, this kid, his brother accidentally gets killed by these bullies. Then the bullies die immediately after that. And when he's an adult teacher, the bullies come back and actually are inside his class and start killing his students. So it's TV quality. It's not overly rated R, but I've always had fun with it. They have a much gorier sequel. Sometimes They Come Back again with Alexis Arquette. That's interesting as well. It's a lot gorier, but yeah, I like Sometimes They Come Back as like a lesser known one. Did I miss one? Nope. Okay. Kevin Whitman got a Jason Lives figure from NECA, but the hands were shrunken super small and couldn't fit the weapons in it. LOL. Got a replacement and same problem. I don't remember if I had the same problem or not. The only thing that I don't like about those NECA figurines is that the hands and the heads and everything that are supposed to pop out are so fucking difficult to pull out and especially push back in that I feel like I'm going to break it anytime I try to customize it. So I usually customize it once with whatever I like, and then that's it. Kara with Tiffany looks better in Seed of Chucky. I actually agree with that. That's the one thing that one of the very, very, very few things I will say is good about Seed of Chucky is that I do like Tiffany's design better. I was very close to ordering Tiffany as well, but then that's $1,200 I'm spending on figurines, and I don't want to be thrown out of my head. So yeah, I'm just gonna sneak the Chucky in here at some point past my fiance's eyes, and it's easier to hide one doll than two. Gary Rangel, Cody, are you a fan of Ghostbusters? Plan on reviews? I'm sure when the new one comes out, I'll review them. There's only 3 movies and then the new one. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of the first one. I haven't watched the second one in years. I liked it as a kid, okay, but not nearly as much as the first one. So I don't think as an adult I'm going to like it anymore. Did not like the 2016 one. I didn't think it was the worst thing in the world, but it was not good. It was not good by any means. And anybody saying, like the director, that you're just misogynistic if you don't like it, right here. Whoa. You take them out of the package? Yeah, I'm dumb like that. All right. Well, that's a hint for your fans to send a Tiffany to your P.O. box. I would lose my shit if that happened. If somebody spent $600 plus shipping to send something to me, that would be like, oh my God, what 12 reviews do you want me to do for you right now? The Willmeister, what about Space Jam? It's a 90s kid must. Yes, I have not seen it in years, but it is a 90s kids classic. My kids have seen it because I bought the Blu-ray for them, but I have not personally sat down to watch it. But I love the old Looney Tunes. And even though I'm sure I would probably laugh watching Michael Jordan act, that's just a special little thing that just... it's awesome that it exists. I don't feel like it would exist in any other era but the 90s. Check your Facebook Messenger. You missed Josh. Oh, no. Okay, hang on. So apparently... Oh, there's Mother Mayhem. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to display this, obviously, but we have... Josh Niebauer. Hey, Cody, what did you think of that horror tank vid you watched a month ago, if you can remember? I didn't get to watch the whole thing, man, so I can't really give you a full opinion on it, to be honest with you. I'd have to go back and watch it. I'm sorry. I should have commented my thoughts. I think I just commented something smart like, hey, what's up? Thank you, Mother Mayhem, for letting me know that I missed that. Did I get all of them? Let's see. Space Jam. Yes, I did. Okay, so I have all of them. Thoughts on the Last of Us series being made on HBO. Cannot wait. I was always nervous about them doing a movie with The Last of Us, because that was the talk for quite a while, was that the director Neil Druckmann was going to be doing some form of motion picture. I don't know if he was going to be writing it or producing it or whatever, but they were going to make it a movie. And I went, okay, that's awesome, because it's more Last of Us, but how are you going to tell this story in 2 hours? The fact that they're doing a series on HBO, nonetheless, is a dream for me. The fact that they're going to be able to be as dark and as brutal and as gory as it needs to be. HBO has the production that it needs, and it's just it's going to be awesome. I'm really, the only thing that would screw it up for me a little bit, although I would still probably watch it and probably like it, is if they're just not going to do the actual game storyline. It's just going to be some other story set in this, cordyceps apocalypse world. But assuming that they're going to follow the story of Joel and Ellie, I cannot wait. I will literally call out of work just to watch that thing and binge it, assuming that they're going to put it all at once, or if it's going to be a weekly thing. I guess I'll be missing a lot of work. But no, I can't wait for it. I think it's going to be great. So there's no scenario that could have been better in my mind. Maurice, you missed mine way back before Q&A started. Well, shit. Maurice, retype it. You don't have to put a super chat, but retype your question, and Mother Mayhem and Kara help me look out for it. I'll answer it here. So sorry I missed it, buddy. But yeah, just retype it. You have to do a super chat. We'll keep an eye out for it. Did you get a confirmation email for the pre-order? I believe so. Let me double check. Now you got me worried. Thanks for the money, but we didn't actually get your order. Let's see here. I got a receipt from PayPal. I did not receive anything from Shout Factory yet, but like I said, their website is crashed, and it is in my upcoming orders on my profile. So I just think that their automatic email system probably delayed if we did not get ours. 600 Cody fans. Everyone donate $1. Let's get them the Tiffany dolls. Tiger Man, which movie is better and which has the better villain, Candyman or Jeepers Creepers? Candyman. Candyman is a better movie, and I think he's a better villain, although I do love the original Jeepers Creepers. Victor Salva notwithstanding. I understand all the controversy with that. Talking just about the movie, I love the first Jeepers Creepers, but I love Candyman probably just a little bit more. Do you like the Grudge movies? The only one that I have seen is the remake, which was god-awful. I've seen pieces of the first one, the American first one that came out around the same time as The Ring. It's not really my thing, honestly. Even The Ring's not really my thing. Like the Japanese horror films being remade in America, they don't really do it for me. So I haven't seen them, obviously, to say that I don't for sure, but the concept, the little bit that I've seen, it's just, it's not really for me. Let me see here. Oh, shit. I missed a good one. Oh, there's Maurice. What are your thoughts on Hemsworth playing Hulk Hogan in a biopic film? Awesome. Hell yes. Please, brother. I love Chris Hemsworth. He's like the genuine movie star that's coming out of the Avengers. Like, obviously, Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. are pretty big movie stars, and Scarlett Johansson and all of them, but Chris Hemsworth feels like the one that is going to just do a bunch of different stuff, can do whatever he wants. So I like the fact that he's going to be doing something like that. I'd like to see how serious that movie is. I want to see him get into monster Hulk Hogan shape. So yeah, I think it's going to be pretty awesome. Believe in the hype. Are you going to get Scream Factory of 13 Ghosts, Event Horizon, and Ghost Ship? Yes, yes, and yes. I love all three of those movies. 13 Ghosts is just badass. That's just a very underrated movie that like I could watch like a HBO Max series or HBO series where each episode is just on each of those ghosts. There's a lot of really cool lore in that movie. Event Horizon is awesome. That's like the best Hellraiser movie since Hellraiser. And Ghost Ship is really underrated too. I really like that one. So yeah, all three of those movies will be in my collection at some point. La, 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 la. Do you feel like because of the backlash of The Last of Us 2 that the third one wouldn't take much risk because of the whiny fans? Honestly, no. I think that Neil Druckmann and everybody involved with it are secure enough in their art that they're not going to let that sway them whatsoever. And I don't think that Sony is going to either, because all the whining and bitching and complaining aside, the game is selling like fucking crazy. So no, I think that the whiny minority, and I will call them the whiny minority because they're the loudest ones in the room, not the biggest ones in the room. I think that they're going to be irrelevant. So not saying if that you genuinely played the game and just didn't care for the directions they went, that your opinion is irrelevant, because it's not. It's absolutely relevant. It's the spamming and the review bombing and the people that are, you know, reading other people's reviews and spewing that shit back out, and all that other bullshit, all those fucking losers, those are the ones that aren't going to get anywhere. Halloween should have dropped via live stream or VOD. I don't know. See, a lot of people, for selfish reasons that I understand, want it to go to VOD because they want to be able to watch it as soon as possible. But from a business standpoint, I understand them saying no, because Halloween 2018 made a shitload of money. Halloween Kills is going to make probably even more. And inevitably, that number would be cut quite a bit if they went VOD. I don't think that we're there yet to where VOD releases are going to make theater release money. I just don't. So I understand why they're not doing it. Who disliked this stream? It's probably CP. Have you played the Watch Dogs games? I think the third one looks good. I haven't seen anything on the third one. I played the first one. I liked it okay. I skipped the second one. Ubisoft's games are weird because they all kind of have the same thing going for them to a certain extent. Watch Dogs is essentially Grand Theft Auto, but with a tablet that can control things, which was a cool little element. But it didn't blow me away. I'm really excited for Far Cry 6, though. I love the Far Cry series, and the fact that we got Giancarlo Esposito as the villain, yeah, try and keep me away from that one. Let's see. Cody, have you seen Becky or The Hunt? Yes, I've seen both. I actually probably should have did a little review segment on Becky. Like I said, this was impromptu. I should have planned it better. But The Hunt, I liked it okay. I think that the movie is very front loaded. I think the first half an hour is a blast, but a lot of the carnage is out of the way then, and then the movie slows down to a crawl for the next hour. I like the fact that it kind of pokes fun at both sides of the political argument. It basically makes liberals and conservatives both look like jackasses, which works for me because politically it's not something I talk about very often. I'm very much in the middle. There's things on the left that I agree with. There's things on the right that I agree with. And I think that anybody that's extreme one way or the other and that doesn't want to talk, have any conversations, are a bunch of nutbags. So I actually enjoy the fact that they can poke fun at how ridiculous the extreme sides have been. And it's a more entertaining movie than I expected it to be, but I just felt like the movie was very front loaded. I felt like everything that I wanted it to be was in the first half hour, and then after that, it was just kind of like, okay. But the lead actress was pretty awesome. Becky. This was a movie that I made a Facebook post, I think, when I first saw the trailer, and I was like, this looks god awful, and I must watch it. Anything with Kevin James trying to play a dark, serious role, you have my attention. I'm sorry. I'm not a big fan of what he's done in his movies that much, but I love The King of Queens. It's probably my favorite sitcom of all time. I'll just randomly pop in a disc from the DVD set, and then I'll be in a King of Queens kick for like the next month. So him trying to be dark and sinister and serious and a neo-Nazi, I was like, I'm in. You watch the movie, and I think that acting wise, I think he can actually do that role okay. I just don't think the writing was in his favor, so I don't think it came off all that well. I thought that Joel McHale was horrendous in the movie as the dad. I thought that he by far was the worst actor in the entire film. It has some carnage, it has some gore. It's like a very gory version of Home Alone. So I think that there's people that will enjoy it. But gore aside, and the novelty of seeing Kevin James play a bad guy, I just didn't think the movie was all that great. So both middle of the road for me. And I know I've missed some super chats going over all of that. Let me see. Mother Mayhem, I gotta get this really quick. I am low-key hoping that another year of hype for Kills will annoy everybody as much as we were annoyed with 2018 and they'll lose interest. I was talking about that earlier, Lindsay, the fact that we have another year to wait. I'm hoping that the excitement and the constant talk and the, oh my God, they released a behind-the-scenes set photo from a fucking cell phone. We got to talk about it for 45 minutes. All of that shit kind of tempers down with another year of waiting. And I'll actually be able to somewhat be a little more excited about it. So yeah, I'm right there with you. Let me see. Okay, I'm hoping that this is the one, the last one that I missed. Let me scroll up just a little bit. Oh, Manuel, did you create the Evil Live logo? Very creative. Yes, I did. It was actually fun story. Whenever we had parted ways with our previous stream and we're trying to figure out what to call ourselves before we landed on Autop stream, Evil Live was the name suggestion that I had for it. And I created this logo to kind of hype everybody up. I was like, I have it. I have the answer. What about this? And very quickly, Brian was like, no. Lindsay was like, no. So it wasn't unanimously accepted by the group. So I was like, okay, fine. So I kind of held on to it. And I like the design. I put a lot of time in it with the barbed wire and everything like that. So I thought it was pretty cool. So I'm glad you like it. Let me see. Let me go back down to the one that I just had. Okay, CK78. You are right. The Facebook posting for the Friday 13th set states limited, but that is the only source that states the limited quantity. Worried. I wouldn't be worried because look, like I said, they're getting massive amounts of pre-orders and they would be stupid to limit it if they quickly go past 13,000. If they go past 13,000 by the end of this week, they're going to make more. They're going to make more. Alex Navarro, have you ever read the Walking Dead comics? They just ended about a year ago, and I feel like you may enjoy them more than the show. Far darker, too. I have. I actually bought the compendium books. I think I bought the first 5 or 6 of them. I made it basically all the way to the point. Where did I make it? I definitely got through the governor. Whatever storyline is like maybe 20, 30 pages past the governor dying is how far I made it. And I did. I enjoyed the comics much more than the show. It's darker. It's a lot more gritty. And it was pleasant to read. It was pleasant to read all this unpleasantness. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I don't know why I kind of fell off reading it, but I did like it. All right, going back down, we got the Willmeister. Do you plan to review the Return of the Living Dead series? Also, are you going to review the weird 30th anniversary version of the original Night of the Living Dead? The weird 30th anniversary version. I am unfamiliar with what that is, but no, I'm only reviewing the movie as it stands. So that review is done. That's all I'm talking about with Night of the Living Dead. And until maybe eventually I might review the Tom Savini one, but I'm not in a hurry to do the remakes. Return of the Living Dead. I'll say maybe. I'm not a big zombie guy. I've said this before. I really wanted to do this review series to kind of give these movies a shot because a lot of them I haven't seen before. The Return of the Living Dead series are very much B-movie cheesiness and everything like that. So it's a very different kind of genre with zombies. So it possibly, maybe this October, I'll do a couple of franchises and that will be one of them. No promises. But once I get done with the Romero movies, I'm probably going to be zombie fatigued for a little bit. When are you doing the Dark Knight review? After the Prestige review. So hopefully in like a week and a half. I'm going to try to my plan as it stands is to release Saw reviews, Romero of the Dead reviews, and Christopher Nolan reviews, basically until I finish all 3 of those review series. It looks like Tenet is probably going to get pushed back, so that one's going to be kind of a false hype up, just like the Saw ones were, but whatever, it is what it is. So you're going to get Saw 5 and Land of the Dead and The Prestige soon, and then after that, the next round of them will have The Dark Knight. Just pre-ordered the Alpha Predator. I'm guessing you mean the NECA figurines. That's cool. All right. Cody, top right corner. Unfortunately, my camera is just barely short of the box that I need for this fucking green screen behind me. It does not like to pick it up the way that I like it. So if I move even slightly, oh, look, there's a corner. Oh, look, there's a corner. So pain in the ass. Cody Leach, Craig Mazin said he wants to make The Last of Us TV show for fans and people who don't play video games. He believes the story should be told. Thank God. Thank you for telling me that, because that makes me feel much better. Uh-oh. What did I miss? Mother Mayhem, after Cody shared your TikTok of Grease, I had to watch Grease. Now my boys ask for it daily. Oh, this must be. Hang on, I'm trying to catch up on this conversation here. Something going on. Over the Jamie Lee Curtis hype. Yeah, go back to episode 1 of Evil Live. You'll know what he's talking about. So that followed up with I would slap her across her smug face. I didn't realize it, but Jamie Lee Curtis with quote bubbles is starting to become like a thing with Evil Live. So the first 2 episodes is me making her say something. All right, here. Cody, have you played season 2 of Telltale's Batman? Yes, both seasons were awesome. If you're a Batman fan, that is a very cool, unique take on Batman and his villains. So highly recommend Telltale's Batman series. And I hope we get a 3rd one. I know they've only talked about doing more Wolf Among Us, but I really hope they do another one. What do you think of The Thing 2011? I'm going to be reviewing both of them before October, but in a nutshell, I think that it's got a lot of really great things going for it that for me personally is ruined completely with the CGI. I think that it's absolutely ridiculous that they had such awesome practical effects trying to, pay respectable homage to the first movie, and they covered it all with CGI. I think that that's absolute horseshit. So if they ever get a cut of the movie that has that restored, the movie will jump like 2 stars for me. But it's extremely difficult for me to watch it because the CGI is just so bad, and that's not the thing. Let me see. Dance Moms, do you like any of the Wrong Turn movies? The first one. I haven't seen most of them. I've only seen the first 2, I believe. But the first one is just pretty good. Like it may be a 3-star movie for me. And the second one, I remember liking pieces of it. Like I thought that, what the fuck is his name? Henry Rollins was pretty cool in that one. But I haven't had any interest in watching the other ones. I don't know if they get better or extremely worse. So I really don't have an opinion on that one. That series came very close to making it in the last year's 31 on 31, but Brian must have prayed hard because we found other ways to do it. So yeah, eventually I'm sure I'll have to review them and you'll find out. But as of right now, I only like the first one. Are the creature features going to be a drag for you like Friday and Texas was for Brian, except the Thing, of course? No, not at all. I haven't seen the Critters movies, so I'm hoping those aren't going to be a drag. Those are like Brian's, guilty pleasure. But no, I was the one that suggested all of the franchises that we're doing. So I would not suggest things that I did not want to do. So no, it's not going to be painful at all. I mean, there's a couple of shitty Predator movies. There's a couple shitty Alien movies. Jeepers Creepers 3 there's some movies that suck on that list, but I really don't need to revisit any of them because they pretty much, I already know where my ranking is going to be as of right now. So, no, I'm going to enjoy it. Jay Beanie, any thoughts on Pinocchio's Revenge or Evolver yet? I'm not sure. No, I don't have any thoughts on them yet. I have not watched. If I believe I was sent them, maybe that's why you're asking. Maybe you sent them to me. No, I haven't had a chance to watch them yet. Same answer I gave earlier. Basically, I have a whole stack like in the corner of the room. I'm looking at them right now of movies that I've been sent that I need to watch, and I slowly will make it through that pile over the next year and a half probably. But no, I have not seen either of those yet. I think you missed my super chat about the Night of the Living Dead remake, Believe in the Hype. Well, retype your question, buddy. And I think you missed both of my super chats. What the hell? Oh, okay. Believe in the Hype. Is The Fly more emotional than The Thing? Yes. Yes. I don't think it's better, but it is more emotional with that whole relationship and him having to die at the end and everything. Yeah, I think I would say it's definitely more emotional. Let me see if I could find your other one there. Shit. Nope, it is gone. Ask me again there, man. Yep, I don't see it. Yeah, Believe in the Hype. Ask your other question again, and I'll keep an eye out for it. Hey, Cody, do you watch Dead Meat? No. I don't have any problem with Dead Meat, but it's just not my thing. Like I've already said, I don't really watch a whole lot of movie YouTube channels anyway, but he mostly does. His kill counts are basically recaps of the movie, right? I mean, they're recapping the movie, they're counting the kills. I just don't really get a whole lot of entertainment out of that. A lot of people do. I mean, I think, the biggest horror YouTuber out there. So who gives a fuck whether I watch him or not? But yeah, it's just not really my thing. Yeah, obviously the dude's very successful. I mean, I've seen him do collabs and have people on his podcast and everything. That's like pretty like, holy shit, that's legit. But yeah, I'm not personally a viewer. Although I wish people would quit telling me that my slay lists are ripping him off because it's not even close to the same fucking thing. I guess nobody's allowed to talk about kills but Dead Meat. Believe in the Hype. I just asked if you like the remake. The remake of Return of the Living Dead, I've never seen it, so I'm not sure. I've only seen the original and Night of the Living Dead or Return of the Living Dead 3, which I actually kind of enjoy. Are you still doing the 31 on 31 on July 31st? Absolutely. Keep your eyes peeled for that. Marvel versus DC, the MCU versus the DCEU. Cody, how many hours a week do you spend on your channel? I enjoy it a lot. Well, thank you. It depends from week to week. It depends on how my energy level is after work. It depends on how much free time I have on the weekend. It depends on how much shit I actually want to talk about. It typically, if I'm going to do like a review, just a standard review without a ton of bells and whistles, like the Halloween series where I had like free flowing stories and all this other stuff. Just regular old review. I probably between recording takes me probably about 20-25 minutes, depending on how much I want to talk about it. Editing between an hour and a half and 2 hours, and then I'm done. So anywhere from 2 to 2.5 hours on a singular video. And I try to put out at least 3 videos a week. So somewhere between 6 hours and 8 hours a week, probably on my channel is about all the time that I have to give to it. If I didn't have a full-time job, I would be spending a lot of time on here because I'd be doing a video a day easy. But yeah, somewhere around there. The Willmeister, we know what you think of The Thing 1982, The Thing 2011, but what about the original The Thing from Another World? Have you played the prequel game The Thing on PS2 and Xbox? I've never seen The Thing from Another World, and that is not going to be included on this year's 31 on 31. I know I've got that question a couple times. It is what it is. They got to add up to 31, and I wanted to talk about The Thing when we're talking about creature features, so we're just going to talk about the John Carpenter movie and the movie that is in reference to the John Carpenter movie. I have played the prequel game, though. I didn't get very far in it, but I did play it. I did rent it when it first came out. I got maybe an hour past where the first person turns. I remember liking it okay, but for whatever reason, it didn't grab me. I don't know if I had to take it back and just didn't get a chance to play it or what, but yeah, I didn't get to play too much of it. Let me see. The Willmeister. Okay. Do you plan to rank the Resident Evil spin-off games? I've got a feeling it'd be quite entertaining watching to try to say something positive about Operation Raccoon City. No plans for that. It would take way too much time to try to go through a bunch of games that, from what I hear, are terrible. It took a lot of time to just go through Resident Evil 0 and Resident Evil Code Veronica. I did my ranking, and those are all games that, after playing the Resident Evil 3 remake, I had a lot of experience with, so it was easy for me to just do a video. But then I had a lot of people saying, "Oh, you need to, these are part of the main canon too. You need to do these." I'm like, "All right, fine." So I revisited it, did those two games. I bought them on PS Live or PlayStation Network. Played through both of them, redid my ranking, and then immediately after that, they're like, "Oh, well, you got to do." You got to do the Revelations games. Those are canon too. And I'm like, fucking hell. Just you get this. This is what you get. So, no plans to revisit or visit for the first time any of the spin-off games. If there was a lot of good ones, yes. But I don't think any of them are known as being very good. Let me see here. Da, 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 da. Do you like Kingdom Hearts? No, Holly is playing Kingdom Hearts 3. She bought it whenever it first came out, or I bought it for her when it first came out, and she played the hell out of it and then kind of dropped off of it. And now that she's slowly starting to wean off of Animal Crossing, she's starting to play it again. Not really my type of game. Kind of like Final Fantasy. That's just not really my genre. Are you still getting a Tots Chucky doll? Yes, I was talking about it earlier. They delayed it to like September or something like that, but they did send out an email saying that, hey, this shit's still coming. So yes, I'm still getting it. Cody, what's the worst movie of 2020 so far? I feel like I watched something that I did not like at all, and I can't remember what the hell it was. You Should Have Left. That probably so far is the worst movie I've seen this year with Kevin Bacon. I did a full review for it if you want to check it out, but yeah, not good. Not good at all. Oh, believe in the hype. I got another one from you. Let me see. Do you play the Witcher games, and have you seen the show on Netflix? I think it's going to be better than Game of Thrones. I watched half or so of the series, and while I liked it, it really frustrated me how they had the events so out of order with very little explanation of the timeline. And you could really only understand it if you've played the games. I have played probably a third or so of The Witcher 3. That game is monstrous. I enjoyed it. I played it back whenever the show came out this past December. I was kind of playing the game and watching the show at the same time, but I kind of fell off both of them once I went back to work in January. So, no, I have not finished it. I probably will finish it whenever season 2 comes out, because they've said that they're not doing that with the timeline anymore. It's going to be, free flowing. But yeah, that really frustrated me. It was hard to keep track of what the hell was going on in that show, because each episode was like in the future, in the past, present, past, future, past. And it was just like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. All right, guys, let's see. I'm going to do another 15 minutes. What time is it? It is 7:18. Yeah, I'm going to do another 15 minutes, and then I will head out because I need to get some dinner. Let me see. What's your favorite company releasing Blu-rays now that aren't from the studio? For example, Scream Factory, Arrow, Criterion. Definitely Scream Factory. I fucking love what they do. I love the artwork that they have on every single release that they have. They have the best quality. I mean, you pay for them. They're a good $25 or something like that per movie, but it's worth it. So yeah, I absolutely love them. Arrow's got some good stuff too. Criterion's got some good stuff, but Scream Factory is just like a horror fan's dream for all the stuff that they do. Lame. I don't know what that's in reference to. Let me see. How do we avoid spoilers for Halloween Kills for another year? That is going to be a fantastic question because they've already screened the movie for people twice, once that I can verify, and the script is already out there because somebody sent me the script on Sunday and I didn't read it. I only opened it out of curiosity to see if this was actually the real script floating around. And from what I have heard from a friend of mine that has actually seen the movie, and there's a scene, like I just scrolled down a couple of pages and there's a scene that describes, I mean, completely what we saw in that teaser. The script is floating around. So it's going to be very difficult for the next year to avoid spoilers because you're going to have assholes, just like The Last of Us 2, that are going to post spoilers in Reddit and other fucking places. And then assholes on Facebook are going to turn around and regurgitate that. And assholes on Twitter can do the same thing. So I don't know. I don't know how they're going to keep that movie under wraps at all over the next year. It's not their fault, but yeah, it's going to be a shit show. Oh, lame. Ending in 15 minutes. Got shit to do, woman. Do you think that they should remake Resident Evil 4? Yes. Yes, I do, actually. Do we need it? No. I can go just fine with playing Resident Evil 4. It still plays fine, in my opinion. But if they remake it to the quality that they've been doing the remakes lately, then it could be awesome. And there's things that they could certainly fix about it. I actually did a video. It would be particular of interest to you. It was, I think, 10 ways to remake Resident Evil 4. So search that video and I go over all the things that they actually could do to improve that game. But yes. What is your favorite Arkham video game? Arkham City. I really like Arkham Knight. A lot of people have that towards the bottom. That's actually my second favorite. But Arkham City for me is kind of like the perfect mix of everything. It has a great story, has a lot of really good villains and boss battles. The exploration of Arkham City. I think it's damn near a perfect game. So yeah, Arkham City is my favorite. Kelvin Whitman. Yeah, Halloween fans are going to overhype kills. Well, that's what Halloween fans do. Am I right? It's the greatest fucking thing ever, even though I haven't seen it. To be serious, guys, like, look, me and Mother Mayhem tried to talk about this when the teaser came out about how, at least in our experience, and I say our because she had the same exact experience as me. In our experience, the Halloween super fans are just nutty or crazy. Like, not all of you, obviously. Some of you can be a Halloween super fan and be a perfectly reasonable human being. But the ones that are online that, like, you know, trashed me for, 2-3 months. There was, wishing me fucking death threats and everything because I gave the movie 3.5 out of 5. People like that. I have not seen or endured that level of psycho in any other franchise but Halloween. I'm not Star Wars fans, not Nightmare or Friday the 13th fans. I mean, I've said it before. I'm the guy that said that the Friday the 13th remake's the best. The Texas Chainsaw remake is the best. Robert Englund should retire and not come back as Freddy. And somehow me saying that Halloween 2018 was good, not great, is the most controversial thing in the world. So yeah, Halloween super fans with how much they overhype shit and can't talk about anything else. I mean, when we were in Killer Flicks, my fucking God, every 5 seconds, Halloween, 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 Halloween. And it's just to the point where it's killed my interest in the franchise. Like I've watched Halloween 1978 every single year on Halloween for at least the past 15 years. It is literally tradition for me. And sometimes I might watch it twice a year. I have not watched Halloween 78 since 2018. I've skipped it the past 2 years. And I will be skipping it this Halloween as well. So it's just that level of online ridiculousness has just demolished any interest or any fandom I had for Halloween for the foreseeable future. Hopefully that turns around. Halloween fans out here thinking they're Michael Myers themselves. Yeah. I made a joke on Twitter and on Facebook where I had basically put, like, Michael Myers is sitting burning in this basement. And then suddenly somebody in a red and green sweater comes out and it's like, it's a bitch, ain't it? Like I wrote out like a little teaser scene where Freddy comes in at Halloween Kills just as a joke. And I was like, all right, Blumhouse, start your reshoots. I'll take my check. And me posting that, I got at least 3 comments that were like, yeah, and Michael would beat Freddy's ass. Or like, yeah, we don't need Freddy in this franchise. Freddy movies suck. And I'm like, have you seen some of the Halloween films that you're defending? Crazies. So silly. Yup, didn't watch 78 this last Halloween. First time in 30 years. Yeah, so that's even worse. All because of a-hole Halloween fans. I've seen this a couple times. Have you ever seen the ICHI, The Killer, pretty brutal Japanese movie from Takata? No. There's maybe 2 Japanese films that I've even seen. Well, they might not even be Japanese, but Oriental films, Korean. I'm really not sure. Audition and what the fuck? Battle Royale. Those are the only 2 that I've seen. Oh, and I Saw the Devil, which is badass. That one I actually love. Yes. Yes, Meatwood. Halloween 2018 was okay. Definitely not the best sequel. Season of the Witch needs more love. Yes. That one I'll continue to watch every Halloween because it doesn't have Michael. So, by the way, what fans are the most crazy, Halloween or Star Wars? Like I said, in my experience, in my isolated little box, Halloween fans are like DEFCON 12 level of crazy, where even the craziest Star Wars fans that I've had interactions with is like barely a 5 on the scale, okay? And I talk about horror a lot more than I talk about Star Wars, so a lot more people see my horror stuff, so that's partly to do with it. But yeah, I've not experienced any form of negative fandom the way that I've experienced from Halloween. So there's arguments out there that once Friday the 13th comes back, then there'll be Friday the 13th fans doing it. And once Nightmare comes back, then there'll be Nightmare fans doing it. But I guess time will tell. Oh, hang on. Did I miss one? Oop. Hang on. I did miss one. Hang on, Tommy. I'll come back to you. Dylan, I'm a Halloween super fan, and I can't stand Halloween 2018 and wish the series had ended with the original. Keep up the fantastic work, Cody. Thank you, Dylan. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's just a few small things that Halloween 2018 had to do for me personally to make it a much better film. And one of them was the ending. Just kind of like, all right, guys, see you next time, instead of actually making it the final confrontation that they advertised it as for 2 years. Tommy Gibson, along with the Friday the 13th box set, they released the Pumpkinhead Steelbook, and you excited for it? Pumpkinhead is one of my favorite movies. They did Pumpkinhead, and they also did Motel Hell, I believe. I'm not sure if I'm going to get the Pumpkinhead Steelbook or not, because I already have the Scream Factory release of Pumpkinhead. I don't necessarily rebuy every movie, but it's possible. But yes, I'm a big fan of Pumpkinhead. I really like that first movie. Motel Hell is also kind of a fun little B movie. But yes, I like Pumpkinhead. Eventually, I'd like to review those as well. Let's see. Why did Lori say I saw the shape in Halloween 2018? Can anybody answer that, or is it just stupid writing? I don't know if you saw any of the videos that I've done. I don't remember if I made this point on one of my reviews or in Hallow Stream or Scream Stream or somewhere else, but I actually brought that up. Nobody has ever referred to Michael Myers as the shape besides the fucking credits of the movie and fans. It made no sense to me whatsoever why she would call it the shape. Why he would be known as the shape, why she would know him as the shape, or why she would even say that. So yes, I'm with you. I think that was a very badly written scene. I don't have any explanation for you because I'm right there with you. I'm like, what the fuck was that? I saw the shape. No, you saw Michael Myers. That's what you would say. A normal functioning human being would not throw out some random ass thing. I saw the shape. The shape of what, bitch? I don't know what the shape is. Hated it, plus the new Loomis line too. I like the Loomis line, actually. I thought that was actually pretty good, the way that they did the sound design. It needs to die. That was kind of cool for me. I like that one. Cody, do you own American Gangster on 4K? I think so. I'm pretty sure I do. I think I do, because I think I bought it, and then I looked at it, and I went, fuck, this doesn't have the extended edition. So yes, pretty sure I do. What is your favorite Telltale Walking Dead game? Probably the first one. The second one's really good too. I didn't really love the third one, and I've never finished the fourth one because I started playing it, and then they had that whole thing where Telltale like went under, and then months later they helped them finish it, and I just kind of forgot about it. So yeah, the first one with Leigh. They might call him the Shape if they still didn't know who it was like the first. Now she knows, so it made no sense. Exactly. Weird how Laurie's dad said drop the key off at the Myers place, and then later we find that Michael and Laurie are siblings. Well, I don't know. I've always kind of been of the opinion that the sibling storyline was dumb, and they never should have done it. And when they did the first movie, that was never intended ever. So that was literally like John Carpenter's on record not liking the fact that he made them siblings. So I think that's just that's what happens when you have a movie with a specific idea and then the sequel tries to do something else. Yep, Jesse, we're actually about to wrap up in 5 minutes. So if you scale the video back, go back to the beginning, it was actually the second topic that I covered. Oh, I got peanut butter on my penis from those damn mouse traps. The humor in that movie. I have heard that if you did not like the humor in the first in Halloween 2018, that it's not any better in Halloween Kills. Now, that's one person's opinion, but it's somebody's opinion that I trust as far as the humor. So we'll see. Would you do a Martin Scorsese ranking? He has 25 or less movies. I have not seen all of his movies. I might do a top 5 or a top 10 or something like that at some point, but a ranking, I would have a lot of movies to catch up on. How do you feel about Candyman being delayed to October 16th? I don't think it's going to happen. It's just like Tenet. They keep pushing it back a couple weeks at a time, hoping that suddenly coronavirus is just going to disappear. I said at the beginning of this pod or this stream that I've pretty much mentally already solidified that we're not going to see any movies for the rest of this year. So that's kind of what I'm operating under. They're not going to say it until the last second. They're going to push it off till November, push it off till December. But yeah, I don't think we're going to see any new movies until maybe February of next year, the way this is going. All right, guys, let me do 5 more questions. Let's see. Chucky or Freddy? I've always loved Freddy just a little bit more, but I will say that the Child's Play movies as a whole are a little bit better. Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street 1 and Nightmare on Elm Street 3 are my 2 favorites. I really like New Nightmare as well. But Chucky, literally the first 4 movies I think are awesome. And then you have Seed of Chucky, that's the big dip. And then you have Curse of Chucky, which I think is pretty awesome. And then you have the dip back down to Cult. So 2 movies that I don't like. Freddy has, I'm not a biggest fan of 2, although there's pieces of that movie that I appreciate. Not the biggest fan of 4, even though I have a lot of nostalgia for it. Don't like 5 at all. Despise 6. So, yeah, Freddy as a character I like more. Chucky's movies are better. Laurie also said he's waited for me. He's waited for this night. Yet she's wrong when she says that because the brother-sister angle was scrapped. She wasn't Michael's primary target when he escaped at all. Well, in my opinion, that's because she's a little fucked up in the head. I think that she views it as like, oh, I'm the one that got away. He's going to come for me, when really Michael didn't give a shit. Like, Michael had to be guided to her to the end of that movie. With Halloween Kills, I'm assuming now he's going to have a vendetta for her, because otherwise the movie just doesn't make any sense. At least I haven't seen it yet, but I don't think you could do that storyline twice about, okay, now we got to go take him down again. I think now that he was almost killed and he's burned up, now he's going to be pissed off and trying to go for her. But I think that was more her being a little fucked in the head than it is a writing problem, in my opinion. Dream Child called me earlier today. Doesn't like you either. Good. Good. Okay. What was that? 2 questions. So we'll do 3 more. What is your favorite Martin Scorsese movie besides Goodfellas? The Departed. The Departed. It's pretty close to Goodfellas, actually, for me. So, yeah, I absolutely love that one. He's going to the Haddonfield Hospital and Kills. It's inevitable. I can guarantee you that he is going to a hospital in Halloween Kills. Let's see. What is your favorite movie by S. Craig Zahler? Brawl in Cell Block 99. I thought that movie was just badass. I didn't quite get it the first time I watched it. There was things that I liked about it, but it's a very strange movie in some ways that it tells its story. But upon rewatch, I just loved it. I absolutely loved it. So yeah, I love Dragged Across Concrete as well. I need to rewatch Bone Tomahawk. That was another one that when I first watched it, I didn't quite get it, but everybody loves it so much that I don't think that there's any reason why if I rewatched it, I wouldn't love it as well. The Willmeister, Halloween 2018 is my second favorite. H2 pisses me off, and I somewhat agree about Halloween 3. Also, the only thing I appreciate about Freddy's Dead is some of the comedy. Reasonable, right? If you say so. Different strokes for different folks. I despise just about everything about Freddy's Dead, but there is some people that really enjoy how campy and goofy it is. Cody says he's tired of Halloween. Chat continues to ask questions about Halloween. Well, that's what a lot of people are here to talk about. I mean, you put Halloween in the title and the thumbnail, and everybody's like, ooh, now I can get my questions out. So it's not that I'm not tired of talking about Halloween personally. I'm tired of hearing about Halloween. I'm tired of, like, when Halloween 2018 came out, it was like every 5 minutes. What do you think of this? What do you think of this? What do you think of this? And I had to get the fuck away from that shit. So, yeah. Haha. Let me see. Do you think if Freddy or Jason remake was in 2018, it'd have the crazy fans, or is it just the Shapes fans? Time will tell. But like I said, I've said some pretty controversial things about both franchises, and I've never gotten the level of hate, not even close to the level of hate that I've gotten on Halloween for just somewhat criticizing it. Who is your favorite female YouTuber that posts like twice a year? That would be you. Do you prefer Michael or Jason? Okay, we'll do this as the last question. Do you prefer Michael or Jason? I think the concept of Michael is scarier. I think that there's more effective things that you can do with the character of Michael. I think Jason is more badass. And at the moment, I would rather rewatch a Friday the 13th movie than a Halloween movie because of everything I've already said. So they both have their pros and their cons. Jason is the one that just is going to rip you in half, and he's all about the carnage. Halloween or Michael Myers is more psychological. The movies that are trying to go for that, the good ones. So there's a large part of me that prefers Michael Myers because of that, but Jason's a little bit more fun to watch because if you're in the mood for a slasher, he pretty much delivers everything you want from a slasher. So they're kind of neck and neck for me. Freddy and Chucky are by far my favorite. Michael and Jason are pretty neck and neck for different reasons. So that's it, guys. Unless I missed a super chat. Let me double check. I don't believe I have. Yep, I actually hear my family getting home now. So that is it, guys. That is the end of Evil Live episode 2. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Thank you to everybody. Please, thank you so much for the super chats. Also want to give a huge shout out. I'm going to be doing 2 videos for them this month, but a huge shout out to all of my patrons. For those that haven't been following me on social media, my laptop actually took a giant shit the weekend before last. Left me basically without any of my stuff, all the backgrounds and everything that a lot of work. Left me without a lot of work. And I had to go and purchase a new laptop, and I would not have been able to do that without all the support from my patrons. This channel might have been down for a couple of weeks without them. So I want to give a huge shout out, huge thanks to them. They're a large reason why I'm able to do what I'm able to do. and why I'm able to put out so much. So thank you to all of you, if any of you are watching. Anybody that, like I said before with the intro, if you're interested in checking out Anders, his channel or some of his music, I'm going to post a link to his material after I get done with this. So check the video description below if you're watching this video in the future. As far as things to expect, guys, like I've said earlier, we got another Saw review, we have the Land of the Dead review, and we have the Prestige coming out within a week or so. So keep your eyes peeled for that, as well as some rankings, 2 of which for my patrons. So keep your eyes peeled, and thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good night, and I will catch you next time.